You are overweight, you are out of shape because you choose to be, but it's not your fault. Let me explain. Everything that we do in life is a decision, and your physical body is a representation of the decisions that you have made throughout the course of your life. The body can fluctuate, you can lose weight, you can gain weight, but your current situation is a physical outpicturing of your mental well-being, of the decisions that you are making, the actions that you are taking, the food that you are eating or not eating, the training that you are doing or not doing. But here's the thing, this is why it's not your fault. Those actions further down the line come from your self-concept and what you believe to be true about yourself and who you believe yourself to be. You're not going to put trainers on now and go for a run. You're not going to go and try and run a marathon. Why? Well, because you believe that you're not a marathon runner. You believe that you can't run. You believe that you have knee pain or back pain or whatever. And while some of that may be true, you are only going to act within the parameters of what you believe is possible for you or who you believe yourself to be. And who you believe yourself to be, your self-concept, is made up of your belief systems. So, like I said, who you believe yourself to be. And none of that, who you believe yourself to be, what you believe to be possible for you, none of that is the truth. You have developed these beliefs over the course of your life, throughout your life experience, based on your conditioning from the very first breath that you took to the present day. We are all conditioned, we are all part of this system, but certainly in our younger age, our parents tell us what is wrong and what is right, what we should be doing, what we shouldn't be doing. Our teachers, the law, the country that we live in, there are different laws, there are different belief systems, and we are raised in a particular way, in a particular place, to live a certain life. And while all of us have very different lives, you could put it down to your parents, your teachers, the laws, and often like the location, etc. We can go through traumatic events in our lives that aren't our fault. We could be abused as children, mentally, physically. People can hurt us. People say things. We hear things. We learn things. We absorb things. And all of these things are outside of us. They're outside of ourselves. And from all of these experiences that we go through, whether it's happening to us or whether it was an accident or whether it was on purpose or whatever, we develop an idea of who we are and what is possible for us. In a certain situation, you may choose to be brave or not brave, and then you will adopt the identity of somebody that is or is not brave. It goes on from there. You may have been brought up in a household where you didn't have much money, and you were constantly told that you had to finish what was put on your plate because food is expensive and you're not wasting it. So now, as a 36-year-old, you're still demolishing the whole plate of food, even though you were full up halfway through the meal, because but you're not even thinking about it. You're never leaving food on that plate because you were brought up not to do those things. But what I said there, you're not thinking about the fact that somebody told you when you were younger that you can't leave food on your plate. You don't think about that anymore. You probably haven't thought about that for the last 30 years. Because most of what we believe to be possible and true about us is stuff that we learned so long ago, we don't even remember when it was or where it came from. But we are operating our lives, we're living our lives with these beliefs, That is the lens that we view the world from, is our self-concept. So you may believe that you're fat, you're lazy, you're overweight, because someone told you once upon a time that you're fat and you're lazy and you're overweight. And if you believe those things to be true about you, that is what you are going to outpicture in your life. You get what you focus on. You may have heard it said, and I didn't, I've heard this a few times, we only use 10% of our brains, right? There is truth in that, but it's not because there is like 90% of our brain is locked away. This is down to the reticular activating system, right? Like right now, as you're sitting here, you aren't aware of your socks touching your feet. You're not aware of your digestive system swirling round and round. You're not aware of the car alarm that's going along in the background, or maybe you are aware of that because it's been brought to your attention, but because you're hearing that, you're not hearing the fact that the pasta's boiling over in the kitchen. There's so many things going on around us at any one time. Things that we can smell, things that we can taste, things that we can touch, things that we can hear. It would be impossible to have all of that in our conscious forefront at any one particular time. So most of life is filtered out, and what gets filtered out is the stuff that we don't believe to be true about ourselves. So people that are unlucky tend to remain unlucky. People that are rich tend to get richer. People that are poor tend to get poorer, because once you've adopted the identity of being a poor person, you will continue to only see things that keep you poor, and it will affect the circumstances and the conditions of your life. What you believe to be true about yourself changes the world in which you live in. And you can change the world. You can change the world, not even your world. You can change the world right now by changing your self-concept. And if you don't believe me, just try it. Decide for one day to see the beauty. Become more aware of your senses and see, hear, taste, smell and touch the things that you want to, rather than the stuff that you don't want to. And stop focusing on what you don't want, because if you focus on what you don't want, you are going to continue to manifest more of what you don't want. I have developed a belief over the last 3 or 4 years that I cannot make social media content, that nobody ever likes my videos, nobody ever comments on my videos. I've developed a belief that nobody wants to hear what I'm saying. And it's incredibly frustrating because of these beliefs. Every time I switch the camera on to record something, I struggle to create the video. I've just driven around trying to clear my head, because I sat down earlier and I tried to record a video for at least an hour and I just couldn't do it. But the thing is, I know why. It's because I believe that I'm not good at this. And when I post this video, it's probably not going to get no likes and no comments and no followers and no subscribers or whatever, because that's what I believe is going to happen. Whereas if I believed that I'm an expert in content creation and when I post videos they go viral, that is what would happen. If you truly believe that, that is what would happen. Now, what's this got to do with you being overweight or out of shape, which is how I opened the video? Well, it has everything to do with it, really, because it doesn't matter whether we're talking about money or whether we're talking about your body or your relationships. It's all the same. You get what you focus on, and what you believe to be true about you is what will continue to show up in your life. And your self-concept and your identity, who you are, is the life that you will experience. And it will never change. You aren't going to get lucky. Nobody's coming to save you. I'm sure we've heard that one. The only way that your life is ever going to change is if you change, and that is if you change who you are and what you believe to be possible about you. And it is a process. It is a process, because the actions that we take are at the very bottom. Your self-concept is at the top, almost at the top. I'm not going to go one step further because it's going to be too much for this video, but that's basically frequency, vibration. Below that, you know, below your self-concept is your beliefs, and below that are your emotions, your thoughts, thinking, habits, etc. And then the actions. The actions come last. But we always try, when we want to change, when we want to transform our bodies, or whether we want to earn more money, or we want to find love or find a relationship, you know, attract a particular type of person or whatever, we focus on the doing. I'm going to join the gym, and I'm going to get a diet. I'm going to download Tinder, and I'm going to download Bumblebee or whatever it's called. Is it Bumblebee? I don't know. Bumble. I'm married. I don't know about this shit. But we go straight to the do. What have I got to do? You're going straight to the actions. None of the important stuff gets looked at, and it's why you're struggling. You're going round and round and round and round in circles, trying to lose weight, trying to change your life, trying to earn more money, trying to do this from the same place. You can't escape yourself. You can't operate outside the parameters of who you are. And you can try your damnedest. This is what I've fallen victim to for the last 3 years, and unfortunately that has had an effect on me, and I'm now trying to undo all this. The hustle and grind culture, work, you know, get up early and grind, you know, the David Goggins, the Alex Hormozy and all that. Action, do, grind. And it's so fucking wrong. It's the hardest possible way. And you're going to be saying, well, how comes Andrew Tate and Alex or Hormozy are billionaires? Simply because they believe that they can be that. They believe it's possible for them. Andrew Tate is an incredibly spiritual man. I listen to a lot of his content, and people think he's an absolute arsehole, but he's not. He is a fucking genius. He made a video recently saying, I am. And that's all he was saying, I am. Do you know what? I am. He is. Who is he? I am. In spirituality, I am means God. I am is written throughout the Bible. Be still and know that I am. I am has sent me unto you. This is all, you know, this is stuff that I have learned trying to dig myself out of my own struggles in life, but it's also stuff that I have found out through experiences, and usually it is the lowest of the lows. It's the hard times. Most people that end up having spiritual awakenings are people that have reached rock bottom, people that have been through hell and they have found heaven. And I'm already thinking, look, John, you started this video talking about, you know, people being overweight and like blah blah blah, and now you're talking about heaven and hell. Like, don't even post this. This is shit. Like, this is my own problems in my head right now, because I have the knowledge and the experience and the expertise, which is now proven with a portfolio of successful clients. My clients exceed their own goals. They're always blown away by the results that they get. You know, they'll say, oh, I want to get to X amount of weight, and then they always do more. Like, I'm very, very good at what I do, and it's incredibly frustrating for me to have the knowledge and the experience and the expertise and the passion to help people that I have, and honestly knowing that I could be living an exceptional life on the back of this, because there are many very successful coaches out there that have a very, very abundant life, you know, wealthy, with physical possessions as a result of their desire to help other people. And annoyingly, a lot of them don't have the desire to help other people. They're just in it for the money. But for me, my heart's in the right place. I really want to help people. But in this day and age, you have to be good at making videos. You have to be good at putting yourself out there. And this is something that I struggle with. And I know I've been talking non-stop now for 15 minutes, but it's something that I'm trying to overcome. And this is a belief system of myself that I'm trying to escape. And you have belief systems about yourself that you may not even be aware of yet. But the reason that you are struggling with your weight, with your confidence, is because of your belief systems. And the only way to start figuring this out is to become aware of your thoughts. And a lot of people don't want to do that because it's going to be painful. You're going to have to face things that you don't want to face. You're going to have to revisit situations from your past that you may have hidden away. But it's the only way out. The only way out is with the inner work. In order for your actions, your emotions, your thoughts, your beliefs, and your self-concept to shift, you don't start with the actions. You start at the top. You start with your self-concept. You start to develop a better idea. Be the person that you want to be. Think about who do you want to be? Who do you want to be? Who would you like to be? Probably wealthy, healthy, fit, in a great relationship. You can have it. You can have it. First, you've got to think about what it is. Visualize it. Write it down. Start being that person. That will reveal to you all of the work that you need to do, because when you start trying to be the person that you want to be, you will become aware of your blocks straight away. You'll be like, well, why can't I do that? Great question. Why? Ask yourself why. Someone said something to you 20 years ago, because of an experience, or because of something that you did, because of something. There's always a reason. And it may take a while. It may take a while, but just dwell on it, ruminate on it, get quiet. It will come to you. And like I say, it may be painful. If you have a really, really low self-confidence and a low self-esteem because of some shit that you've been through when you was a kid, and 30 years later, you're still suffering as a result of that, and you're trying to change by going to the gym and starting another fucking diet, joining Slimming World again, joining Weight Watchers again, stop. You've got to do the inner work first. There is a process. There is a process, and it's like I say, I've struggled most of my life with various things, and I've learned a lot trying to find a way out, trying to find happiness. And it's still something that I struggle with to this day. And, I may help people do this, but that doesn't mean for a second that I'm perfect or I don't have my own problems and struggles. None of us are perfect. And we all struggle from time to time. But there is frameworks, there are methods, there is a process to it. Step number one above everything else is to become aware of your thoughts, become aware of your emotions, become aware of your belief systems, and start working on them. You will start to feel something that doesn't feel good. Think about where that is coming from. Trace it back to the root cause. You'll highlight the self-limiting belief. That's where the work is. And by changing that, you change your self-concept. Start to change who you are. Then your thoughts will change. How you feel will change. The actions will become effortless, they'll become easy. There'll be no more struggle, there'll be no more fighting. And you'll have anything and everything that you want. "20 minutes. I'm going to post it. Will anyone listen to it? With my belief systems coming into this, probably not. But I'm going to do it anyway. And I think until I change my belief systems, based on my past, based on my history, based on the 2,150 posts that I posted on my old Instagram account for 1,000 followers, which didn't go up over the space of many, many years, I've developed a belief system that people don't want to fucking hear or read anything that I have to say. And that's had an effect on my confidence. But I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to give up, because I have dreams and because I have a calling to help people. And so yeah, I've got work to do, you've got work to do, we've all got work to do. But it's not hustle and grind culture. It's gentle, it's acceptance, it's thinking, it's meditating, it's whether it's literally meditating or just sitting somewhere quiet and not trying to distract yourself with drugs or with alcohol or with food. Love you and leave you. See you in the next one.